He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife, flying high. Colombia, here we come. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Yes, it would appear that this one's wife and Harry are off on another jaunt. A faux royal tour beckons, as, according to Mark Duell and Martin Robinson of the Daily Mail, Prince Harry and this one's wife will visit Colombia for a tour later this year, despite both the UK and US governments issuing travel alerts for the crime-ridden country. But what possible interest could Harry have in Colombia? Well, fortunately, here's Harry to explain to you why he's so interested. Oh, it's a cheeky bit of Charlie. Hi, Harry here. Just wanted to let you know, off to Colombia. Great country, really, really welcoming produce there. Can't wait to get there, so see you all there. Ciao. Short and sweet, but I think you get the message. As you know, this one's wife has hitherto suggested that she's Maltese, then she became 43% Nigerian. We understand that dependent on what time of the day you test her, she can vary from anything between 50 to 100% Colombian. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex will head to South America on an undisclosed date. I'm pretty certain they will let us know in due course when they're going, after accepting an invitation from the country's Vice President, Francia Marquez. Another invitation, another freebie. More relatable countries aren't interested in them. The UK, they ran away from it. The United States, they failed to crack it. Canada, you abused our hospitality, so fuck you. Australia, rack off. Although I don't think anybody actually says that unless they're in an Australian soap. Thus, and with all due respect to Colombia, it's somewhat down the pecking order of many places that you would necessarily go. Naturally, Harry is rather concerned about security arrangements, except only when it applies to war-torn the United Kingdom. Yes, a country where millions are on the streets fighting one another in a tribal conflict, where you have to be careful, otherwise, even when you're rioting, you could end up with a brick to the bollocks. Harry, understandably so, recognises that the concerns about security for the United Kingdom, but there is no problem whatsoever going to a South American country that is notorious in relation to crime, terrorism, civil unrest, and kidnapping. In case you weren't familiar, Colombia has a high crime rate due to being a centre for the cultivation and trafficking of cocaine. Can't see where the attraction is for Harry and this one's wife. This conflict began in the mid-1960s, and it's a low-intensity conflict between Colombian governments, paramilitary groups, crime syndicates, and left-wing guerrillas, such as the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia and the National Liberation Army. They fight each other to increase their influence in Colombian territory. Elements of all of these armed groups have been involved in drug trafficking. In a country where state capacity has been weak in some regions, the result has been a grinding war on multiple fronts, with the civilian population caught in between and often deliberately targeted for collaborating. Human rights advocates blame paramilitaries for massacres, disappearances, and cases of torture and forced displacement. Rebel groups are behind assassinations, kidnapping, and extortion. But for a security-conscious guy such as Harry, and his security-conscious this one's wife, going to Colombia doesn't present a problem. No, not at all. The UK's Foreign and Commonwealth Office advises against all but essential travel to parts of Colombia, and the US Department of State issued a travel advisory for Colombia stating, reconsider travel due to crime and terrorism, exercise increased caution due to civil unrest and kidnapping. Some areas have increased risk. One British former Royal Protection officer who served Harry's family for several years told the Daily Mail, they have chosen to visit one, if not the most dangerous countries in the world, but nothing amazes me with those two these days. He added, "It's just him digging his heels in with the UK authorities. But it does add weight to why he's not getting protection. He keeps going to dangerous places." Once again, this demonstrates the idiocy of the gruesome twosome, whereby they once again take a freebie, as they did in relation to Nigeria, so that they can go on a faux royal tour in the expectation, presumably, of creating content for Netflix, of receiving some adoration from people who are told, cheer for them, clap for them. So this one's wife is made to feel important. Other than the obvious, what connection have these two got with Colombia? The square root of fuck all. But that's not going to stop them from going there, and this one's wife wearing inappropriate outfits as she swans around pretending to be interested in people, and Harry looking bemused as he's really not sure where he is at all. Nevertheless, what are they going to be doing there? Well, apparently they're going to be engaging with leaders, youth and women. Okay. Well, that's specific. And join activities related to cyberbullying, online exploitation, and the mental health impacts of these threats. So you need to go to Colombia for that, do you? Okay. Ms. Marquis's office said the couple would experience the rich heritage of Colombia. I understand that Harry's really looking forward to getting his nose in amongst it all and help illuminate Colombia's role as a beacon of culture and innovation. After all, if there's something that these two is really interested in, it's culture and innovation. They're well known for their interest in culture and how innovative they are. She added that the visit would precede the first global ministerial conference on ending violence against children, which will be in Colombia this November. It comes after Harry, who now lives in Montecito, California, in case you'd forgotten, lost his High Court challenge in London in February against the UK government over his right to state-funded police protection when visiting Britain. He told a judge that he didn't feel able to bring his children Archie 5 and Lilibet 3 to the UK and could not put this one's wife in danger like that. But it's quite clear that he's perfectly content to go to one of the most crime-ridden countries in the world, where his wife won't be in any danger, no whatsoever. The children won't be in any danger because, of course, they won't go with them, as they don't take them anywhere. Apparently, the visit would come at a particularly significant time, given that it precedes the Ending Violence Against Children conference. Continuing, Ms. Marquez said, "The Archwell Foundation, founded by the Duke and Duchess, is renowned for its global leadership in fostering a safer online environment." Is it? I think you must have been looking at the wrong thing there. Apparently, a statement that was provided said as follows: "As the Vice President of Colombia and Minister of Equality and Equity, I'm pleased to announce that Prince Harry and this one's wife, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, have kindly accepted my invitation to visit our beautiful country. During their trip, the Duke and Duchess will join me in visiting Bogota, as well as the Caribbean and Pacific regions of Cartagena and Cali. In these vibrant locations, they will have the exceptional opportunity to engage with leaders, youth, and women who embody the aspirations and voices of Colombians committed to progress." Or in other words, lots of people will be wheeled out to meet them thinking, who are these fuckers? In addition to these meaningful interactions, bit of the pollutant of this one's wife there, with the use of meaningful, the Duke and Duchess will experience the rich heritage of Colombia. I'm sure they will. Their visit comes at a particularly significant time, as it precedes the first global ministerial conference on ending violence against children to be held in Colombia this November. The Archwell Foundation, founded by the Duke and Duchess, is renowned for its global leadership in fostering a safer online environment. The forthcoming conference will unveil a comprehensive framework for creating safer physical and digital spaces, tackling issues such as cyberbullying, online exploitation, and the mental health impacts of these threats. It will offer actionable solutions and commitments for countries around the world. During their visit, the Duke and Duchess, as well as the Archwell Foundation, will engage in several activities related to this important topic. Thus, that's the guise upon which this trip has been based, that they're going to go and talk about online bullying. Once again, underpinning their hypocrisy. As I mentioned in relation to their forthcoming interview this Sunday on CBS, these two bang on about online bullying, yet they have allowed it to happen towards people that they know. They have allowed it to happen towards many people as a consequence of the behaviour of the Sussex squad, but that doesn't matter. Once again, the Sussexes demonstrate their idiocy and their hypocrisy. Going to a country with which they have no connection, going to a country which has only invited them because they have made it known that they are available, pay us enough money and we'll come and visit you. Going to a country to further their supposed caring attitude towards cyberbullying, when in actual fact they are hypocrites in that regard. All they do with this activity is set themselves up for further pelters, failing to seek the privacy that they supposedly claimed, and once again providing further opportunity to see the dim-wittedness of Harold and the narcissism of this one's wife in full effect. So later this year, we'll find out what they'll get up to in Colombia, apart from the obvious, and as always, we'll be able to dissect this one's wife's narcissism in action. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.